Hello, adventurers. My name's Tyler.
And I'm Richard.
On today's episode, we're celebrating our 1-year anniversary of the True Strike podcast. Welcome to True Strike.
Oh, that was louder than I expected. Well, howdy, folks. Welcome to the show.
Howdy.
Today is our 1-year anniversary of doing the True Strike podcast. Hence the theatrics, if you will. Hopefully you can actually hear the birthday song playing. It wasn't as loud as I thought it was going to be.
Oh, it might have just be dead silent.
Yeah, just dead silence, us staring at this violently spinning happy birthday candle thing. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Good find.
This thing is awesome.
Yeah.
I do not regret buying that at all.
Hopefully they could see us throw all the confetti on the
Oh, yeah, no, we're good.
The soundproofing behind the camera is just pelted.
Just littered with confetti. Yeah.
Throughout it. That was dangerous.
That was way more aggressive than I expected it to be.
Yeah. Oh, look.
Oh, yeah, I've got some too.
Woo.
It's like we're at a Taylor Swift concert.
Yeah, just cheaper tickets. Cool.
So, yeah, it's been a year of this.
Yeah, this is our 52nd episode, and, to celebrate, we don't have any controversy today. We don't have any terrible news. Actually, some interesting news as far as a new project we're going to try out, mostly because we just want to play more Dungeons and Dragons. So,
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't want to play more Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah. But essentially, our good friend, and you've seen him on the show, and our DM, who really got us into Dungeons and Dragons, and the reason we're doing this podcast at all right now, Garrett Phillips, asked if we would be part of a game. So we're going to be running through the Shattered Obelisk, and then eventually the new Vecna campaign, Ruin. And we're all playing new playtest classes with the races and rules, and anywhere the 1D&D in the 2024 revision of the rules can be used, we will be. So that's exciting, and we're actually going to start recording that soon. We're going to be recording that really soon.
Yeah.
And we'll be putting that up, I believe, next week for the episode.
Yeah.
Your typical True Strike podcast episode. We're going to go ahead and have the first session of that just as your regularly scheduled podcast. And then from then on out, it will go up on probably Thursdays. We're workshopping it a little bit. We're probably Thursdays. You'll be able to see a weekly or bi-weekly
playthrough.
Playthrough of that. We're not expecting glorious, wonderful quality and stuff. It was not going to adhere to the same quality we're usually trying to, make this wonderful show. But we're going to share our Discord game with all of you who would be interested in not only listening and following along, but just seeing how these, playtest classes and stuff actually work out in a real game.
Yeah, no, we thought it would be interesting since we're already doing it.
Yeah.
So we're already going to be here. We're already doing something pretty cool, which, like you said, is playtesting material. So this is all the new fancy stuff that may work, may be kind of broken.
Yep.
We don't really know how it's going to work. And I think that's the most exciting part, is that we're trying to really stick to playtest materials and, more importantly, stuff from just the base player's handbook, right?
Yep.
So we're not going crazy with like a bunch of extras and stuff like that. So we're staying relatively basic as far as things go.
Yep.
And a lot of us have chosen very specific kind of playtesty stuff. Like,
Mhm.
I know that when I was going through the stuff that I was looking at building my spell list for my character, I wanted to pick spells that had revisions that were pretty important.
Yeah.
Same thing with my feat. Things that, that I want to see in actual play that we haven't seen in actual play yet.
Let's give a little preview. What are you playing?
So I will be playing Ethok, the Goliath Druid. Yeah. And for this druid, I'm going a little bit different than I've done any other druid, because traditionally my druids have not been like your wild shaping druids. The wild shapes that I do use in any of my druid would be my spore druid. And I don't really actually ever shift into an animal.
Have you ever?
No, I've never.
I didn't think so.
I only use it to control my spores. Whereas this druid, Ethok, is actually going to be somebody who's going to be using wild shapes.
Nice.
So new for me, playing a druid that actually turns into animals.
Yeah, finally get to be that Animorph dream,
Yeah, so that's going to be my character. What are you playing?
I will be playing a female orc barbarian named Sokraklaw.
Ooh.
Yeah, Path of the World tree once I get to that point. And can't wait to, really dive into that a bit. Orcs haven't changed as far as I remember. I don't think they've changed. Of course, we'll nail that down before we play. But I'm excited to try out the new barbarian and, most importantly, the masterwork, the master weapon properties.
Yeah, that's going to be really, really
that's
cool.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I get cleave because I got that great axe, can roll them d12.
Yeah. Goliaths did see some changes.
Mm-hmm.
So it basically changed the innate species abilities. So now your ability comes based on your giant lineage.
Nice.
Yeah, so I got to choose my giant lineage, which
one
we're
did you
going
go
with Hill Giant.
There we go.
Yeah, I looked at a bunch of different ones, and I almost went with Stone Giant, but for our setting and our backgrounds, Hill Giant just made a little bit more sense. So we're going
suckers
with
for
Hill
doing
Giant.
that.
Oh yeah,
it's
no,
got to fit the theme.
If it doesn't fit the theme, I'm like, I don't know. I want to really fit my theming. So yeah, we're definitely not meta playing any of this.
No.
Yeah, it is just kind of building what we think is going to be fun and engaging and testing out materials.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. And I think I briefly mentioned it. This is going to be a Discord game. Rich and I will be here in person recording locally, but yes, it'll be Garrett Phillips, his brother Parker, and their friend Matt. And Garrett will be running the game, DMing for us all. So it's going to be the first time I've been a player in a little bit, other than, the games we did last October for our one-shot adventures through the month of October. If you haven't checked those out yet, fantastic. Check out Morkborg and,
a bunch of different independent games that we'd never really done before.
Yeah. Quietus. Oof. I hadn't even heard about that before that. So great games. Go check them out. But I'm sure you smell it. Oh. You may not smell it, but my wife made us this lovely heart-shaped Ferrero Rocher cake. So I did mention last week there would be cake. Boom.
Lo and behold,
the cake.
There is cake.
So
delicious looking
cake. At any point you wish to decapitate the cake. Is that how that works?
Decapitate? No, it
has no head.
Gently.
I'm gonna go ahead and take one of these though while you
slice.
Look at that.
Some cake.
I'm gonna eat on mic. Sorry, I will try to pull away when I do though. Quick, pull the void.
Look how red it is. That's definitely going to change some colors of some bodily functions, right?
Yeah, when our insides become our outsides, it's gonna be interesting. Oh, is this for me?
Yeah, this is for you. Yeah.
Oh snap! Grab a fork.
No, you're good.
Thank you.
I got you.
So moist and red. Try not to.
So yeah, our year kind of like, I don't know about you, but
I'm feeling 22.
It kind of snuck up on us. Like at least me. Like I knew
I didn't realize.
I knew we'd been doing this for a while, right? But it doesn't feel like a year, right? It just feels like it kind of flew by.
Right. Especially when it's something that we're recording. We're putting out episodes for this every week. We've gone through. We attended our first convention as a podcast and as a entertainment group, and not just a couple of dudes going to an event. We put out probably too much content on that. We've interviewed and talked to other podcasts. We had the wonderful Dead Aussie Gamer on. Talked to him. Played a game with him. We've got to try Starfinder first time. All the new games we played this year. We've done the 60-second board game reviews. We've got the YouTube clips and shorts and TikTok and everything now, which is all gaining traction. Which, thank you all for checking all that stuff out. We appreciate every single thing you do. Likes, comments, sharing. Oh my goodness. Every time we put up a video and it actually gets saved or shared on TikTok or anywhere, I'm like, why?
Oh, no. Yeah, I was like, what? But okay, cool.
What witchcraft did we perform doing this? Yeah, no, it's wonderful. And sneaking up on us. Yeah, it was last recording where I was looking at the number when I was saving, and I'm like, 51. That's awfully close to 52, which that's how many years are in a year, right?
Wait a second.
Weeks are in a year? Yeah. And I went to YouTube, and it was like, congratulations on your 1-year anniversary of making the channel. And I was like, oh, no, we're already there. So,
yeah, like I said, it snuck up on me because it just seemed like it just flew by. We've had so many different, bits of content that we've tried out and so many changes that we've done and just so many different things that we have done. We've gone through a lot of different games this year, not just Dungeons and Dragons. I mean, we've played all kinds of crazy stuff, which you kind of touched on when we did our October review, and a lot of stuff that we haven't even done on the channel here. Like we just recently played One Quiet Year, which is a really great game. I would love to do a review for that one day. Do you have the map here somewhere?
Behind the digital map case.
Oh,
that's it.
Hey. So if you've never heard of One Quiet Year, it is a game where you, as a group, basically generate a map. It's a map building game. This probably looks ridiculous.
If you can even tell what any of it is.
If you can tell what any of it is.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of like fourth graders.
Yes.
We're given some markers. But this is what the game is. And it's really, really cool. I've never played anything like it before, where you basically sit around as a group and it's a collaborative effort of building a community during a quiet year, essentially. Yeah. And all kinds of crazy stuff happens. But yeah, it was a lot of fun and it was just like a new experience. And I love that when we find a new game that's just like completely, subverts all your expectations of what a game is, essentially.
Yeah. And this is one of those things where we took a week off from our normally scheduled Curse of Strahd game, which we'll get to that in soon. And Richard was like, I have a game. And I'm like, okay, sure. I'm like, do I need to prep anything? Do I have anything ready to go? He's like, nope. He showed up with a bunch of markers and poster board and stuff and just explained the rules to us really quick. And there's no dice rolling. It's card pulls.
It's card pulls, yeah. Uses a regular deck of playing cards. You remove the jokers and that's pretty much it.
And we all just kind of, it's one of those games where the first like turn or two, you're a little confused. And after that, you're just autopilot.
Yeah. And then it just kind of like starts to roll and everything just kind of goes along with it. But yeah, that was, like I said, one of the many games that we got to try this year, which I think is pretty awesome that we're, not just, we started out, we were like solely focused on Dungeons and Dragons. And then we kind of, branched out a little bit and started to do a little bit more here and there just to keep things more interesting and fun. So it's been a wild year.
Oh yeah. And I still describe us as a Dungeons and Dragons discussion podcast.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
However, and at the root of it all, that's what we always come back to. And we always find a way to relate something, anything we play, we can relate back to Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh yeah, it's easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything. It's like
it all stems from there.
The degrees of Kevin Bacon, except Dungeons and Dragons.
Degrees of D&D.
Yeah.
And it's been a really fun year. And it's pushed us to do and try things we wouldn't do in our normal daily life. This having such a like scheduled thing. Like we've never missed an upload. We've never missed a week of make sure that something is available. There was the 1 week we were sick, or I was sick, and we put up a short rest, because I came back with Concred. But hey, we still put up something. We still got together, over the internet, and we were able to put out like a 15-minute little something.
Yeah, Garrett had to fill in for 2 episodes.
Filled in.
Yeah,
we've had either way. What I'm getting at is it's been good, I think, for us. It's some structure.
Oh yeah,
outside
definitely.
of our like just sometimes crazy. There's no time for anything lives. We always manage to just meet up, and get this together, and it's been fun.
Yeah,
I've learned a lot of new things. We've gotten better at audio tech and doing video, and both of us, we've already done video and stuff like that previously, just for funsies. And at the end of the day, this is for funsies, but it's funsies that we're actually sharing with people, as opposed to just our small friend group.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see what next year holds, just based on the surprises that came this year. Like what are we not expecting to come in the next year?
Yeah. The structure is a big thing too, because like you said, it added a lot of structure to what we do. And it actually, I think it helped in our regular home games for Dungeons and Dragons too. And like I said, it allowed us to that structure kind of forced us to keep doing other things, so that this made us play a lot more games this year.
Oh yeah,
in both Dungeons and Dragons and otherwise. But yeah, like that structure kind of bled over into our other bi-weekly home game, to where we don't miss that as much as we can, right? Like I think it gave us structure like kind of all around.
It's because we try to have the home game, like an every other week sort of thing on the same general time frame of when we record the podcast. So since everything's already kind of scheduled into our life, it definitely made it easier.
Yeah,
it wasn't like, all right, what day is everyone free this upcoming week? And yeah, speaking of which, our Curse of Straw games, I think, it's been going pretty well. We're making some progress now. You guys are, you've spent some time in Vlaki. You met the Murtakovs, and man, I don't know what you're going to do next, but I'm excited to find out. You've probably got like 6 to 15 different possibilities and objectives all at the same time.
I played a lot of Dungeons and Dragons games. Never have I ever played a game that was more stressful as far as decisions that needed to be made. And like there's so many ways that this can go, and it didn't hit me until the last game where we're all like, all right, we've decided as a group we're going to rest. And then Tyler's all like, oh, you're gonna rest? And we're like, yeah, we're gonna rest. And he's like, are you sure you're gonna rest? We're like, yeah, well, now you're making us unsure.
I was like, it's only 6 o'clock at night. There's still daylight. Sure?
Yeah, but we're like almost dead.
Yeah, but you're sure?
He's like, are you sure you want to rest? And we're like, okay, yeah, we're resting. You're making us doubt, but we're gonna rest. And he's like, okay. And then he's like, I just got to go through a mental checklist of all the things that are gonna happen while you're resting, all the things that have passed. And he just starts like running down all these things that we did not do. And now I'm feeling guilty because we didn't do like 7 things. And I'm like, did I not manage my time well enough today? I don't feel like we're managing our time good in Barovia.
Look, there's a lot of people that need help. There's a lot of objectives you have and things you want to do, but time does pass in this world.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
There are no bad decisions, just choices. And there are consequences for choices.
Some of these feel like bad decisions. I'm not going to lie.
There's no way you'd be able to do everything. Someone is always going to pay the price for your inaction.
Inaction? Yeah. Well, we have a fair amount of inaction. I guess let's put it that way.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, we've made some choices. We're on a path.
To be fair, you guys avoided one possible catastrophe because you doubled back.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. We completely went one direction only to turn around and then hightail it back where we came from.
Yeah. Would have had a couple more hours in the day. A few hours left in the day if you hadn't have doubled back. But,
choices.
The game.
Yeah, that's the game, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, never have I ever played a campaign that seemed like that had this much pressure, I think. And I think that's probably part of the game as far as Strahd is considered, because it's not, I don't know how to say this. It's weird. It feels like I'm dilly-dallying even when we're doing important things.
Yeah.
And it's like you're so pressed for what you want to do and what you want to accomplish. And it always feels like that the bad is just right there behind you, breathing down your neck constantly. And which I guess is the whole idea
that's
of being in Barovia, is that the mist is constantly closing in around you, and it really feels like it.
And I described it a lot as the tutorial up until Vlaki, because and I was so excited to get there, because this is when I was like, all right, there's gonna be lots of options and people are gonna need help everywhere and you're gonna have choices to make. And that's what I was excited for, because up until then it's very much like a typical Dungeons & Dragons campaign where, why are we here? Let's figure out why we're here. Let's meet some people. Let's take care of like a, encounter, and let's move down the road. Let's get someone from A to B. And everything's kind of like, okay, we don't we have choices. We could say no. We could go the other direction. We could, we're all kind of being funneled a certain direction. But once you get to Vallaki and you meet, a gaggle of different NPCs, and all of them have a different request or some way you could help the town or them. And there's other locations past that you could go to at any moment. You could always double back even. And like I've mentioned, time is passing. You've got so many days or hours even to like make these choices. That's why I was excited to run this game, was for these moments, because not knowing what you guys would tackle first and what order changes the game to where I could run this another time with a whole different group and play a very different game.
Didn't even consider that.
Yeah.
Like, wow. Because we did make very specific choices about where we went and what we did.
Yep.
And I can see, like, going back now, when we made those choices, when we hit that crossroad, had we gone left instead of right, it would have been something completely different then.
There are areas you guys have just walked past that have things. There's the Gaius tree, which you guys did stop the Druidic Summoning Circle and stuff like that. If you had not, that's a whole different thing. There's a whole different area that could have had consequences that would be a very different landscape whenever you do go there.
Yeah.
But based on choices you made, possibly a positive outcome, So this is a game I could run down the road and just have a very different experience, even though the beginning levels of this, of the tutorial are similar.
Yeah. No, the lead up, I guess, would be similar. Which, do you want to talk about that? There's been some changes in our game.
Sure. Oh, you're talking about the characters.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we haven't actually discussed that.
No, we haven't.
Yeah. So we did our first Strahd check-in, and we talked about, the characters that we were playing in our home game and who everybody was. But since that has happened, we've actually had character changes.
Yep.
So 2 people at the table, me and our work associate, are playing completely different characters now. So I started off the campaign as a bard, and he started off the campaign as a cleric. And his cleric, Hootzifer, actually went to meet. Oh, wait, sorry, there's more here.
Sir Hootzifer.
Sir Hootzifer, okay.
Clan
Bronzewing. Sir Hootzifer of Clan Bronzewing decided that he was going to go speak with Strahd one-on-one.
Yeah, it was a choice.
Yeah.
And who am I to deny a man of Lathander an audience with Strahd himself?
Yep. So he decided to go speak with Strahd and rode away on a nightmare through the sky up to the castle without us, because nobody else is willing to take that carriage ride.
So the rest of the players left the room.
Terrifying. So yeah, we left the room and something happened.
Yep. He just came back and he played a different character.
And he played a different character. Another character that was not very long lived while he settled on like his permanent character that was going to be in here, which is Theodore. What's his full name?
Theodore Rosenabelt.
Theodore Rosenabelt.
Yep.
So that's his new character.
He's a goblin fighter, cavalry fighter.
Yeah.
He has a wolf mount who is pretty fairly like awakened intelligence. It is Maximus Aurelius.
Yeah.
They both have billowing capes. It is a attunement item that does nothing but billow on command.
On command? That's a good.
And he has one, and his dog has a matching one. And they both
matching
billow
little,
at the same time.
Is it a cape or is it? I always
It's like
imagined
an
it was
ascot
like
for the
a
dog.
ask. Yeah.
Yes.
Like basically, he just took him to the groomers.
Absolutely.
And got him back.
Little
And
bandana
he's
thing.
got the little bandana that
Yeah.
like billows along with his
Yep.
cape. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's his new character.
Yep.
My new character. So Trist, my bard, who I was playing for a little while. We encountered the Vistani.
Absolutely.
And Trist met with one of the Vistani leaders, found out a little bit about their background, and decided to stay with the Vistani for a time being.
Yeah.
And basically left the group because they were still needing to move. So they did move on, and they left Trist behind at the Vistani camp. So as far as I know, Trist is still with the Vistani, but I have given over the character to my dungeon master to say, do with what you will. This character is not off limits as far as like what he wants to do with Trist. Trist can be in the universe or be out of the universe. That's completely up to you. And that brings me to my new character, which we introduced a couple of games later, who is Lux.
Yep.
And Lux is something new and something that we are currently playtesting.
I was going to say, speaking of playtesting. Unlike, this is not 1D&D, though. This is...
Yeah, this is from Dimension 20's Worlds Beyond Number.
Well, it's not Dimension 20.
Well, not Dimension 20. Yeah, I guess that's a misspoke. Yeah.
Yep. It's World Beyond Numbers.
Yeah, it's World Beyond Numbers. Yeah.
Wizard, the Witch, and the Wild One.
Yep, the Wizard, the Witch, and the Wild One. And one of the things that they released was the witch materials.
Yes.
So this was their Ame's class.
Basically, yep.
Yeah. Which, if you haven't listened to this, it is, first of all, tons of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then second of all, the witch is just so interesting. Like, it's just such a neat little class.
Watching you, I never know what you're going to do. One, because it's witch. It's not something I'm used to, and I have trouble like predicting your abilities and stuff and what you're going to do. You don't ever seem like overpowered. You have one spell that's pretty powerful at a possible detriment to yourself.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
At these lower levels, it can do some real damage to a room. But it came in really clutch in the one time you've used it. So I don't know.
Yeah, your
token mechanics really neat.
When we looked at Witch, I wasn't sure exactly how you're supposed to play this class. Like, so I know how Ame plays this class.
Yeah,
but there are different covens when it comes to witches, and we don't want to get too deep into the thick of it here. But essentially, you choose like your subclass.
Yeah,
I happen to go with a subclass that was a little bit less about focused casting and more about basically being hardy and being able to kind of get up into the thick of it.
Yeah.
So fight a little bit of hand-to-hand combat. As a witch, you also get a familiar, basically. So it's an awakened being. So they have full consciousness. So I am forcing Tyler to play yet another NPC, which is my stoat named Louie. So yeah, I have an awakened familiar, and works like normal familiars, except a little bit more intelligent, a little bit more self-aware.
He's only a little more intelligent. Let's be real.
But yeah, like you said, it's I don't feel overpowered. It's definitely an interesting class.
You've almost died many times.
Yeah, I've almost died many times. It has some very unique spells, one of which is the one that you're referencing, which is called Breath of Belladonna, which is essentially an AoE attack where you breathe out poison. But in order to do that, you have to first ingest the poison. So you take damage to then do damage.
Yeah.
But it was pretty good. Like, it worked. It worked exactly the way that I had hoped it would work, and it hurt. And it could have gone so much worse. And actually, I ended that combat with 1 hit point.
Yep.
1 hit point and no spell slots. So it's it definitely was skating the edge there. But again, a playtest class. We're only really just touching it though, because level 3 just hit level 4. So we're still in the early, testing as far as.
And does the playtest go to level 20?
Yes. So there is materials that go all the way up to level 20.
We won't be going to level 20 in Curse of Strahd, but hey, if she survives this and you bring her forward into other games, you never know. You might get up there at some point.
So yeah, our group does look a little bit different. So we still have Norik, our caster. We still have Moses, our great axe swinger. But now we just have 2 new characters that are into the fray that seem to be finding their footing and kind of getting to know the party a little bit better.
Yeah. So that's where we are with that. It's fun. I'm excited to get back there next week.
Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with this campaign. Especially with the new character. She's just something cool. I love playtesting stuff. So.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and what was our last session like? Cliffhanged up on the news from Adrian that there was something going wrong in Vallaki.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, we were waking up. We were going to have a nice breakfast, and our nice breakfast got rudely interrupted by another emergency. Something that we have done,
another sleepless night,
is coming back to bite us, or something that we didn't do.
No, who never knows.
Well, I will know hopefully next time.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Next time on Curse of Strahd. But yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun. So
that's the home game.
Yeah, that's the home.
We'll be starting the Garrett game soon, so we'll let you know how that goes. In fact, we'll touch it here and there, I guess, but for the most part, you'll just be able to watch it.
Yeah, no, we'll probably talk about it. Obviously, we're going to talk about it because it's a game that we're currently playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'll be able to follow along and watch it. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that one's going to have 4 players in it.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got 4 players and our DM.
Yep.
Garrett, obviously, you guys have seen the 2 new players will be new to the channel. So.
Yeah, that's true. That show, we're probably not. I don't know what I'm saying. We're probably not going to bleeps the mild cursing here and there. I don't know who's how it's going to go, but I know games sometimes get a little out of control. So those young at heart, cover the ears if the bad words come up. So, but the podcast, you're safe. Don't.
It probably won't be us because we've trained ourselves at this point.
I feel like it's an accident. It's affected our general everyday life.
Yeah, no.
What, the flippy floppy?
Yeah, exactly. It's weird. And like when I do slip up, it's like completely random, and I notice it like right off the jump. I'm like, oh, I said something I wasn't supposed to say.
Speaking of things that have happened in the last year in the podcast, I used to have to comb through these to like find all the times I've slipped up,
the curse words. Yeah.
And then now it's seldom, to the point where I think we had one recently and you pointed out and I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah, I noticed it as soon as I said it too. I was like, no.
So Gen Con's coming up.
Yeah, that's kind of what made me like start to think about it. I was like, oh wow, Gen Con's coming up, and we were talking about Gen Con on this podcast, and now we're circling back, and it's creeping up on us.
Yep, we're definitely gonna be there.
Yeah, definitely gonna be there.
So if you're gonna be there too, shoot him a message. Maybe we try to meet up or say hi.
Oh yeah, I'd love to meet people. That'd be awesome. Yeah, no, it'd be really cool. We're definitely going to be a little bit more prepared this time.
Yep.
Because we now know that we're going.
Now that we're going, we know
not
what
the
to
week
expect.
before.
Yeah, oh my goodness. I don't know how we managed to get that together other than sheer will. Because I think at one point it was just going to be me driving up alone in a rental car and then full stop. And then you were going to be flying up. And then that didn't work out, and then we just drove up together and had a great time.
Yeah, and then we just drove up together. Yeah, it was everything was just so like to the last minute on that one because we didn't think that we were going to be able to make it.
Right, we were waiting on like approval to take the time off. Like,
yeah,
it was wild.
Yeah, it was just all over the place, and then funds on top of it, and it was it was a hot mess last year, but it was great.
Yeah,
even as a hot mess, it was still amazing. But now we're a little bit more prepared.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, now we know we're going. Yeah, we've leveled up our con game, so it's going to be even better this year.
Yep.
We're going to be there a little bit longer this time too, so we're going to have a little bit more extra time with our planning as far as like when we're going to be able to stay. So we're not going to be as under the gun as far as like when we have to leave.
We'll be able to get back a day later. Like it's all around. I think we've already planning it better. Yeah. And in fact, we're going to get back and be like, all right, next year we're taking another day off. So
we're just going to keep making it bigger.
No. Either way, I'm excited for it. We'll talk more about it as we get closer. We're going to do our like top 10 games that we're excited for. There's already a couple games that are releasing at Gen Con that are already on my list.
Oh yeah, no.
So I'm super stoked.
No, I'm hyped to do our top 10 list again.
Yep.
To see, like what we're looking for. Because I think that was really cool. Because it really did like show, because we had games that were on our list that didn't quite make it for us when we got to the con, right? So like it wasn't just like every game was a slam run, like a home run or anything like that.
And we found games like Kuwali.
Yeah, and we found games
never
that we didn't
heard
even
of.
Know about.
It didn't register for me, and it's still like I played it last week.
Yeah,
like it comes up all the time because it's quick and easy to break out.
So yeah, we got lots of Gen Con content coming up.
If there's anything specific you would like us to cover there or between now and then, please let us know.
Oh, yeah.
Shoot us a message on X or Instagram or even like a YouTube comment or anything like that. Please let us know. If you're listening on Spotify, there's always like a questionnaire on these episodes, Q&A and stuff. You can obviously answer the question if you'd like, or you could even just write a message if you'd like. On Spotify as well, you can leave us voicemails if you ever want to, potentially have your question played live on the show. And then we'll respond to you, of course. But yeah, that's it for that sort of, like, share, subscribe that I always feel awkward doing. But sure, it's part of the gig, I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's all part of it.
Yep. Anything else you want to do for the celebration of 1 year doing this crazy thing?
I'm just happy to be here.
I mean, truly.
No, it's been a lot of fun. It's definitely been something different, and it's been really cool to have this outlet to talk about stuff and to just know that there are people out there that listen to us.
That's
talk
the
about
craziest
this stuff.
thing.
Yeah,
because it went from something where like this would just be fun to do,
yeah,
to like we don't care if anyone ever listens, because at the end of the day we were making it for ourselves and hoping people enjoyed it, and then now more of you are enjoying it, and
people are listening.
It's exciting, and it took us both by surprise. And every single episode or clip or anything that ever goes live, if it gets over like 10 views, we're outside of the like friends and family realm. Like who is this? Who's watching this? Who shared this? And it's neat. Like I said, if you're anywhere we ever are, please come say hi. Love to meet all of you.
Yeah, no, that'd be really cool to actually meet some of the listeners. That'd
Mm-hmm.
be pretty neat. So.
Yeah. But thank you, Richard, for joining me for this past year. I'm looking forward to the next year and potentially many more past. We'll see.
No, thank you, Tyler, for doing literally everything.
I don't do everything.
Like literally everything. I'm just another voice behind the microphone. Whereas behind the scenes, Tyler is like the workhorse who's doing all of the editing and the uploading and the short clips.
He would do it too, though.
All this crazy stuff to really make it happen.
If I wasn't such a control freak, you would do it.
So, no, Tyler, thank you.
But you're the reason they tune in. So this is where it balances out, right? I'll do the work because it makes sure people can listen, come and tune into you.
But no, I hope that we can, keep going and see where we are a year from now.
Yeah, this is going to be an exciting year. This is the 50th anniversary of Dungeons & Dragons, so we have the new books coming out and the new core releases.
Yeah.
Not to mention the modules like, Evil Ruin and stuff like that. It's going to be a potentially wild and crazy year. We know how Hasbro's been lately and can be. AI is running rampant. Is every day something wild. Sora's just the internet's exploding. Helldivers 2 is huge. No one expected that.
Yeah.
I keep shooting the idea to Richard that we need to do a video game podcast too. We don't have the time to actually do this, but if you're interested in that, let me know, because then maybe we'll find time.
We'll have to find time. Yeah, I guess.
But it would be fun.
Yeah, no, it would be super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons is only one of our many hobbies.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just Dungeons and Dragons and board games. It's everything else too.
It's all the electronic stuff too.
Yeah, we do so much crazy stuff. Yeah.
But thank you all for tuning in the last year, and I thank you. That's it. Just really.
Thanks for being
means
there,
a lot.
listening to us and watching us.
Yeah. So for now, I've been Tyler.
And I've been Richard.
And we've been True Strike.
Bye. No more confetti.
Hey, adventurers. Thanks again for joining us today. Please be sure to give us a follow on your favorite podcasting platforms and YouTube. If there's any questions you'd like to write in the show, you can hit us up on X, Threads, or Instagram. New episodes released every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Thank you for listening to True Strike. And thank you all for the past year. You're the best. We hope to see you for the next one. Toodles.
I put food in my mouth.